Every successful startup, every big movement, and definitely every political party hits a wall at some point. They all face the exact same question. Can the passionate, disruptive energy that got you started actually transform into a disciplined, powerful machine that can last? Today, we're going to unpack that exact tension using a really fascinating political case study.
So, our story is all about this guy, Raghav Chadha. For a while there, he was absolutely everywhere. He's young, he's sharp, a total natural on camera, and he quickly became the modern fresh face of the Aam Aadmi Party. He really embodied their next generation and their big national ambitions. But then,
things got quiet. Really quiet. The TV interviews started drying up, his public roles seemed to shrink, and suddenly everyone was asking this exact question. And understanding his sudden absence, that gets us right to the heart of what we're talking about today.
okay, so to understand the silence, we first have to understand why he was making so much noise to begin with. Let's break down exactly why his rise to fame was so important, not just for him, but for the party's entire strategy. I mean, look at this profile. It's practically a blueprint for the perfect modern political communicator, right? He had that polish, he was articulate, and he could connect with young urban professionals, which, by the way, is a huge demographic for any party that wants to go national. He wasn't just another politician, he was a brand, and one that was carefully built for a new India. Right, and here's the thing that made him different. Unlike a lot of leaders who were only powerful in their home state, Chadha had this rare quality that political analysts call national scalability. What does that mean? It means he was just as comfortable and effective in a TV studio in Delhi as he was at a campaign rally in Punjab. That kind of flexibility is pure political gold. So his value wasn't just about his communication skills, it was also about what he symbolized. For a party that was born out of a scrappy grassroots movement in Delhi, he really represented the next chapter. So when you saw him, his presence sent a clear signal about the party's future. It showed a future that wasn't just about its founder, Arvind Kejriwal, and with his major role in Punjab, he was living proof that the party could expand beyond its Delhi stronghold. He was the face of a more professional, more institutional political force. And this brings us to the core theme. See, this story isn't just about one person. It's about that unavoidable journey every single successful organization has to take, that transition from being a fiery movement to becoming a well-oiled machine. Think of it like this. A new party is like a startup. It's disruptive, it's agile, it's fueled by pure charisma. But to actually govern, it has to become more like a corporation. It needs stability, a hierarchy, and clear processes. The same chaotic, high-risk energy that made it successful in the first place can actually become a problem as it gets bigger. And this is absolutely crucial.
as the organization itself changes, the type of people it promotes and rewards also changes. The charismatic risk-taker who was a hero during the movement phase, well, they can start to look like an outlier or even a problem in the new, disciplined institution phase. So what's happening inside AAP isn't necessarily some kind of unique crisis. In fact, it seems to be following a very old, very well-worn playbook that parties everywhere use when they either mature or feel like they're under attack. When a party feels threatened, it goes into survival mode. And what happens then? The leadership pulls all the power to the center. The message gets tightly controlled. Nobody is allowed to go off script. You see fewer faces speaking for the party, just to make sure the message is consistent. And any talk about who might be the next leader, that gets shut down immediately. By its very nature, an environment like that has very little oxygen for rising independent stars. Okay, so keeping this political playbook in mind, let's circle back to our original mystery. How can we make sense of Raghav Chadha's silence when we look at it through this new lens? This is where we get to move past all the simple media gossip. Instead of just asking, is there some kind of fight, we should be asking a much more interesting question. What is the strategic logic here? All of these scenarios you see are based on political logic, not just personal feelings. A strategic low profile is just a smart way to let any internal turbulence pass you by. An internal role reset means taking a media star and shifting them to do the crucial but less visible work of building the party. And controlled growth? Well, that's just leadership making sure no single person becomes bigger than the party itself. Each of these is a calculated move on a very big chessboard. So what does the future hold for a leader who's trying to navigate this classic and pretty difficult transition? Broadly speaking, you can usually see three potential paths forward. First, there's the full return, basically laying low until the political winds change and then re-emerging as a key face for a big campaign. Second, you've got the institutional role, where you trade visibility for influence and become a powerful backroom strategist. And then there's the third path, which is the hardest. The repositioning. That's where you slowly try to carve out your own independent identity. It is a huge risk, but if it works, the reward is massive. But in the end, this entire story really boils down to this one powerful idea. The journey of Raghav Chadha is just a perfect real-world example of the growing pains that any organization goes through when it becomes successful. It's the ultimate challenge of trying to bottle lightning. And all of this leaves us with one final, really crucial question. As a disruptive movement grows up and becomes a stable institution, which one is ultimately more valuable? Is it the charismatic star who sparked the fire in the first place, or is it the disciplined system you need to keep that fire burning for the long haul? It's a fundamental tension, and it defines the future of not just political parties, but businesses and organizations everywhere.